Tools you're going to need for this job are going to be a 21mm socket, a 14mm socket, a 17mm socket, a C-clamp, a die grinder or a wire brush, a 1/2-inch impact ratchet, a 3/8 impact or ratchet. First, you're going to remove your lug nuts and your wheel. Go ahead and turn your wheel all the way to the left. It'll make it easier to access your brake caliper bracket bolts and caliper bolts. Grab your 14mm and remove the 2 caliper bolts. Then grab your C-clamp and squeeze the caliper back as far as you can. And once you've squeezed it back, go ahead and place the caliper in a place where it's not going to fall or where the caliper is going to be hanging on the hose. Then go ahead and grab your 17mm socket and remove the 2 bracket bolts holding your brake caliper bracket on. Then go ahead and remove your rotor and grab your die grinder or your wire brush and proceed to clean the hub surface that the rotor is going to sit on. If you don't clean it, you might wind up with some pulsating brakes, because if there's rust in there, that'll lead to variation in between in the brake rotor. Then go ahead and put your bracket in the vise. Go ahead and grab your die grinder, go ahead and remove all the hardware. Then grab your die grinder and clean up the surface where the hardware sits. Then apply some lubrication after you've cleaned it, and then install the new hardware. And of course, lubricate the slide pins, which if you don't lubricate those, you might end up with a frozen one down the road and have a bad brake pedal. So don't forget to lubricate those. Once you're done cleaning it all up, go ahead and install your new rotor. Then put your new bracket on, install the bolts, and then use the 17mm socket to go ahead and tighten those up. Then you're ready to install your new pads, which are the same. There's no inside or outside on these pads, so don't worry about where they go. Then, if necessary, go ahead and squeeze your caliper back a little bit farther in order to install the caliper. Grab your old brake pad and the C-clamp and squeeze it back. Then you're ready to install the caliper. Go ahead and put the caliper on and reinstall the 14mm bolts. Then you're ready to turn your wheel back straight and go ahead and put your wheel and lug nuts back on. Once you've tightened up your wheel, go ahead and grab your torque wrench and torque down the lug nuts to 100 foot-pounds each. After that, don't forget to check your brake fluid, make sure it's full.